Hey guys, what's up? And here we are back again with another round of our playoffs phase at our ESA Cup season number 9. I'm Lanex alongside with my friend Sino. He's from Canada. I'm living in the US. So here we are casting this fantastic European Championship. Sino, how's it going?
Going great, man. Today we're looking at that big lineup. We're looking at Project Black versus Linard's defense. I think it's going to be a great matchup. What do you think?
I think it's going to be awesome. It's going to be quite an interesting story, like we were talking about on the backstage scenes. LDL, they have been the leaders on the Swiss phase, but they have not shown much, right? They have just played 4 times in this season versus Project Black, who were the last team to be qualified for the playoffs. So literally, it's going to be quite awesome to see them like facing each other on this very decisive phase of the championship. I'm expecting for a very good game, at least when it comes to the expectations and predictions. Things were kind of one-sided for LDL, weren't they?
Yeah, those predictions weren't looking too great in the favor, but I mean, it's all about what they can prove in the game and not before the game. Predictions can only go such a long way. So, without further ado, before we look at all the predictions from the casters and from the chat, go put your predictions in right now. What do you think is going to happen in this game, Lanex?
I think it's going to be a pretty cool game, depending on who's going to be seizing the pace. We're going to be seeing a lot of potential comebacks and reverses. Yesterday, for example, we had a fantastic game between Entropy and MVG, where Entropy, for example, started nicely and then they lost control of things. And then that's how Molotov Gang were the best team in the end of the day, winning for 2-1 on maps, that best of 3 match, which was, by the way, at the upper brackets. And this game today is going to be on the lower brackets, meaning that it's going to be tough to say goodbye to one of them, but that's what is going to happen today in the end of the day, you know?
Yeah, for sure. They've been fighting it out tooth and nail, and it's about who's the victor, who wants to fight the hardest to bring in these shots, who wants to triumph and get that win to move on to the next stage of this beautiful season. We're approaching the end very fast, and I'm very saddened to say so. But with that being said, that means so many more teams need to combat so much harder to go into that next stage. And without further ado, do you want me to just walk you through the maps we're going to be playing today, Lanex?
Let's do that, please. Be
Okay,
my guest.
so our first map, the prestigious Nighthaven Labs. It's a newer map, so it took a little bit more time to get used to, but it's still one of the most loved maps by the teams that are bringing in, just because of how evened it is. Our second map of the day will be bank picked by LDL Valor. There's a beautiful map. It's so nice to be played, but as some people like to say for rank, ban bank or D rank. People hate the map sometimes if they cannot hold it properly, and I'm very interested to see. And if it ties up to 1v1, we're going to move on to a decider on Cafe Dostoevsky.
Absolutely, I'm thrilled to see how the teams are going to be playing these 3 maps, and awesomely, hopefully going to Cafe Dostoevsky as a decider, like you said. And what is interesting, Sino, here is that all these maps, they have kind of the same pattern or standard, right? If you will, they are multi-layered, so meaning they have a lot of floors. They have potentially big room for the vertical work. So we're going to be eventually seeing some of those operators that do a nice job on to opening those hatches and offering the team that route from the up to the down spots inside of the map. So I'm hoping to see a lot of that. Yesterday we had a Cafe Dostoevsky, which was pretty interesting, again, between Entropy and MVG, but starting with Nighthaven's lab. Nighthaven Labs is going to be great to see, again, that work coming from the up, from the sides as well. I think both sides are ready for that, and they have adjusted themselves during the season. So it's going to be a pretty even clash, even though some people could say that, Leonard's LDL Valor could be ahead on the expectations. But, like you said, it's all about being a team and winning inside of the game itself.
Yeah, 100%. I could not agree with you more. And we're going to be looking at a couple interesting teams. If we could come look at the stats, it's all about how they play and how they want to play.
Right.
So sometimes you look at how these people play and you wonder what's next for them. So we do see teams like LDL Valor. You see people like Unsert. They know how to play the game, but it's not looking too beautifully in a league such as this. He has a 0.7 KD with a 40% headshot rate. That's not good. And his entry is not good going 6 and 8. But we see some of the most lethal players ever being Madaraya and Lunar. They're getting their KD up. They're getting their frags in, and their headshot percentage is higher than the rest of their teams. Switching over to Project Black, we see Ollie, Nerd, and Ford having around the same KD, but Nerd looking like he missed one too many shots as his headshot is below average, and same with Fod being at 28%. So they got to get those KDs and headshots up. But Pizza is our obvious contender for Fragger, going 1.4 KD with still a low headshot percentage. So this game is going to be more reliant on tactics than rather being good with your gun.
Precisely, I agree with you 100%. I will say both teams have kind of the same layout when it comes to the amount of damage that the players can deal themselves with nice KDs, mostly like 4 guys, right, out of 5 in each squad, offering a nice amount of damage to worry about. And not only that, but like you said, the entry potential here is on the table. So both sides are going to be doing the best to break into the bomb sites and obviously all the rooms in the maps, and they're going to be trying to do their prime. But I would say, as for LDL Valour, like all the eyes gonna have to turn into Madaraya. Like you said, that guy, 33 to 15 as a stat for an entry. So he's gonna be a massive player on their side, especially on the attacking side of things, opening the routes, like I said, and becoming dangerous as a player and offering their team a chance to breach in versus Project Black. But Project Black, they're not totally behind on numbers. So I think the game is going to need to be played. It's going to need to be executed live.
And 100%, because with the addition of the new season, we're still going to see some very interesting things. We might see some interesting things go on, such as the new shotgun tweaks and how people are going to be playing the game, such as so much ADS dispersion getting reduced, making shotgun so much more broken. But it's going to be interesting. That's all I can say, because the people with the lower KDs can bring them up by playing like a rat with a shotgun in a corner, because they deal so much more damage, and they're there because of this increased reduction. So many more players that can't compete have the opportunity by getting these easy kills by just sitting in a corner of the shotgun and waiting. And there's nothing wrong in that. A win is a win, and a round is a round, and a kill is a kill.
Totally. A lot of changes, right? In this drop of a year after a whole bunch of months where the teams have worked, the players have improved, obviously, along competitions, not only ESA Cup, but, trying to adjust themselves into this moment of transition between the seasons. And like you said, a lot of changes also regarding the shield operators. We saw yesterday, for example, as in like Entropy versus MVG, an attempt of usage of Blackbeard. We know he has been reworked to become a full-on, let's say, operator, shield operator, and help the team more. So he was brought to the occasion but died quickly. So we couldn't see much here of him in this occasion. As we're already moving to the first map, Night Haven Labs. It's going to be amazing to cast this one for you guys. So just stay with us and follow ESA Cup here at Twitch and also social media as we slide into the banning phase. Sino, what are we going to be seeing here, man?
Hey, man, before we even talk about the bans, let's just let them get all the bans in and let's summarize it at the end. But something I really want to get your opinion on is, what do you think of that Blackbeard change? The fact that you have an operator with an AR behind a shield. What do you think of this? A lot of people were showing their hatred, considering the shield ops are completely broken in this meta of Siege, considering they've still gotten their nerfs. Blackbeard is still very hated. I played against him in ranked a couple of times. He has a fully automatic AR behind a shield. How do you feel about this?
Well, to be honest, I never played much with him. I would need like more time, more hours to put into action here to bring a better analysis. But all in all, I would say, it seems to me that the game is trying to push him to be also a more valuable and potentially useful shield operator inside of the games and competitive scene. So I'm hoping to see way more of him, like as a kind of a roaming, but also heavily protected kind of up. So it's gonna be cool to see that pick eventually from now on. And talking about the bannings, he's not gonna come to get banned, obviously. But Blitz, Maverick, and Warden. Okay, what do you think about that,
I think Blitz is a pretty interesting ban, considering he just got nerfed recently. If you punch somebody in the face, they're not even going to take damage. It's going to get knocked back, and you still have that slow ADS where you still can't reload behind your shield as you could before. So I think Blitz is a pretty interesting ban. Maverick, pretty standard to avoid any of those rush plants on that EXO bottom site or that upstairs site. Maverick is just such a powerhouse operator on a site where so many mini lines of sight and pixels can be open. Now, Warden, very good for holding top CC stairs with that shotgun and the shield he brings, but it's still pretty standard. They didn't ban the Azami or the Mira, which kind of catches me off guard. And Kaid being the last ban makes the most sense. He can deny hatches, he can deny a wall. He's so broken, and he brings that utility that you need to this game. He brings a shotgun that deals a good amount of damage considering it's a slug, not buckshot. He brings the C4, and he denies the walls and electrifier with an ACOG. There's just not much you could ask for. But as we are speaking, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to see the top floor as our first sight, and hopefully it's going to be a good round.
Absolutely, it's gonna be excellent to see LDL versus Project Black, and we already have the choices when it comes to picking the operators. It's great to see on the side of Project Black, right? All this hard breaching power, especially trying to use potentially Blackbeard as the new Monty, let's say it this way. Eventually, kind of a guy who's gonna be, offering that kind of damage protection that you want, ideally, to bring a full stack of men behind you, and potentially totally catch Leonard's out of guard. Let's see how that's gonna be played out, because Leonard's on their hand, they got a nice slow punishment combo, resistance on the hands of Doc, so that's gonna be cool to see how it's gonna be played. I would say it's a loadout of operators adjusted and adapted to small rooms, don't you think? Especially looking at Azami and also Melusi.
Yeah, 100%. That Azami, she's so good. She can reshape the map and literally build to protect her teammates. She has taken some nerfs recently, but she's just still such an elite operator that you do need to ban her when you get the chance. But looking at these lineups, as I'm saying, Blackbeard gets put in as the first round. I've never seen an operator get reworked and being brought the first day after the new season. So I do think it's going to be an interesting round. No Wamai has been brought, and they are getting punished for doing that. So indeed, as the first mirror does get banned, and it gets blown up, and the thermite exothermic charge will open up the connector breach, and Azami will be forced to hold it, forcing to sacrifice one of those Kiba barriers. And from here on out, it's going to be a bunch of pressure and a bunch of lines on the site that they need to open up. They need to relax, and the defenders either can get really aggressive here or win those ones to be able to hit their shots and release some of that pressure, either if it's from connector, if it's from IT, or if it's from a main breach.
Nice, and it's good to see, isn't it? The fantastic quality work from our observers here at the ESA Cup, showing precisely Pizza with his thermite opening and making the main entrance, and offering, like you said, a fantastic level of challenge, not only to Zakaria with his Azami, but also to Smoke on the hands of Unsert. They're close to the main spot of rule here, chosen by Project Black, as we're gonna be seeing. Both sides trying to do their best. Nerd already, hidden behind this cover, trying to take a look. Not showing himself much, obviously. For obvious reasons, we have Unsert versus FOD. And it's gonna be tough now for Project Black since they just lost FOD. He's gonna be watching from the lobby, see what Pete can do. He's trying to catch vision, trying to see if he finds someone else. Like I said, also with the shotguns, they're gonna be maybe doing a difference inside of this game. Madaraya taking Zorza. It was a very nice pick. And there it is. Response on the hands of Leonards to take Pit down 3v1. And they're gonna rob this one. Well, it seems so, because Pizza is pretty much low on HP.
They're all getting absolutely taken off the board. Hella sacrifices. It's gun chaos all near sight. I'm very surprised there wasn't a gunfight near the first floor. We saw no roamers from Madaraya's team. We didn't see a roamer from LDL, and they still managed to win it. Doc was very able to win that gunfight with a bailiff, considering that thermite is 1 HP. But guess what? He did it, and they're still getting aggressive. We have Zachariah learning how to prone peek on a controller. You know how much skill that takes. And headshot connects to end off that first round.
Super nice first round. Yeah, a lot of bullets, and of course that damage going back and forth. So it was a nice effort by Project Black to breach in, and obviously, keep close, keep together, keep tight, right? It's a team play game, so you cannot totally afford to send someone else totally spread apart. That's what they try to do, but then Leonards, they were like better, I would say, positioned and waiting for the right moment to use their abilities, especially on the hands of Zakaria, right? He was the first one to be spotted from us here, observing from the side of Leonards, and he was the last one to finish this conversation. So very nice, I would say, start for Leonards here.
I do agree with you, but it's not always about what the people that are winning are doing. It's always what we have to critique about the people on the losing side. Something we could have criticized is how FOD decided to pull out his gun on Blackbeard when all he had to do was take control of that CC hall in a site, and he didn't do so. He failed to do it. He got first pick. And it all fell down from CC, and then from there, the whole team crumbled around the site. They had a very perfect around shape onto the site. They were clamping in, they were choking out the picks, they were getting the picks until they all fell through the gunfights. Blackbeard's pulling out his gun. He knows he has a slow ADS, and he still took too long. And as we wait on here on the tactical timeout, while we wait for somebody to come back in, we should probably be criticizing what could be done. Even though it's only been the first round, things could be done differently, but it's also needed to be done, executed perfectly on the first round. Yes. So we need to talk about how they're playing. Mataraya's team doing absolutely beautiful. Linard's defense. They're on defense, all right, and all they're doing is hitting headshots and ending out their rounds. What do you think of that first round, Lane?
I think the first round was that kind of round that you need potentially to feel the game and to get inside of the map and understand how your opponent's gonna be playing on that day. So today is the day of a playoffs match, and definitely Leonard's doing a good job on the later portion of things. Waiting better and holding better, like I said. But as you posed, maybe I don't know what we could say that lacked on the side of Project Black on your thoughts. Do you have any ideas on that? Because these guys apparently they breached in well, but then the follow-up was not fantastic.
I do think that they were trying to rush without using their utility. They had that perfect site, but there was no roamers. They could have capitalized on that. If they brought a buck, they brought any soft breacher, he could have punished those mirrors from below. He could have luckily maybe been able to find a pick or force those people behind the front desk. Having that pressure from top CC and from the basement, from that vert, pinches everybody off of a certain narrative, and you get them exactly to where you want. It's like being a sheepdog. You're forcing somebody to go away from something. And by being able to do so, you create the perfect opening in the site and being able to hit those headshots, get that site, and get that diffuser down, because that is the ultimate goal for the attackers. In the defense, all they had to do was stop it, and they did so indeed by giving themselves a 3-body advantage within a minute of that round.
Precisely. So they stole time. They have made actually Project Black not being able to dictate the pace, and then at the end, like you said, a lot of kills all together in a short amount of time. That was enough for Leonard to seize the first round and declare the 1-0 so far in the first map, as we expect for the return of our fit on the game, guys. So I guess we're gonna be taking a quick break. So stay with us, stay tuned, stay refreshed, take water, and we're gonna be back. Nice. And we are back. Alcino with you. It's a pleasure to be casting with you, man. Let's go for the second round. Now learning more on the teams.
Yeah, a little bit of an error there, but we said we were going to take a quick break, and we keep and deliver on our word. That was about a 20-second break, and as we're setting up, we're going to see that basement site. Now, something about this basement site, you need to bring that denial. You know why? Because if you lose this denial, you lose the game, you lose your site, and you lose a round. So it's all about extending upstairs, and something in favor of both teams now regarding the new season is something I'm going to stay extended on and focused on, is you can see how fast these operators are moving. Goyo is default sprinting, or he's default walking, and it looks like he is sprinting throughout the map, and that is a beneficiary for sound, audio, and movement for all of the attackers and defenders as being a movement boost. So this does help them set up a little bit faster. But with that being said, the attackers are going to start surrounding the building, and we're going to see the same identical lineup, but now seeing one more soft breacher being the Buck.
Yes, a small amount of changes from both sides, especially from Black, from Project Black. Like, seeing this Dokkaebi is interesting. They haven't given up entirely on the Blackbeard, so it's gonna be I would say, more aggressive combination. Now also with Buck, with Ash, let's see how they're gonna be attacking. We already have the action phase rolling for you guys, and I agree with you. So, the defensive system set up by Leonard is interesting, right? It's a very strong combination of operators, to be fair, also with Mira, Goyo, yes, Ija Nazami, so also Mute, obviously. So they got it all. It's all about maybe, expecting from Project Black and waiting for them, and, not totally being, how can I say, too anxious to get in action, just waiting and seeing that Goyo be maximized, potentially.
Yeah. upstairs, very critical site to be holding, especially on a map such as this, because once you keep this first floor held, even if you give it up, if you manage to waste a certain amount of time, it's going to be pretty hard for these attackers to push in. But as I say it about the attackers, Pizza's here to prove me wrong. He makes me eat my own words, and he takes off Madaraya, the fragger, the man himself. He takes out one, and what a shot by Zachariah to get the kill right back onto Pizza. And it's a refrag on a 4v4. And again, all they have to do is just head back to site or keep holding it. The hatch is open for Anonymous, so they can't keep it held down if they try to go for a rush plant. And Blackbeard's going to be pinched, and there's still going to be a lot of damage for to be held. HCR takes a shot. He takes out FOD once again. What's the point of having a shield if you can't protect your face at all? Now, Ash getting in the building. She's looking to take that one fight onto mute. Who's going to win it? HCR, the man himself. Can he win the third onto this Ash? Apparently he can. Lanex, what do you think? Because he's ripping it up from inside on a triple kill.
He's a beast, yeah. Oh, yeah. HCR, he's doing it all. I mean, triple kill, amazing, amazing. That's helpful, and that's more than that. That's bizarre. 4 eliminations into the first round. So there it is. What a guy, what a player, defining things here around. As Project Black also took, I would say, longer than needed or ideal to, be aggressive and pull your opponent against the wall. So Leonards, they were appreciative of that. Also, because like you said, that Blackbeard is not totally into the tune. He's not vibing it nicely. He's not helping the team at all at this point. But FOD is going to repeat him, so he may be seeing something that we are not. But the time, the clock's ticking and the time is moving fast as Leonard's moving to the 2-0 so far in the scoreboard. So they're leading the pack so far.
Yeah, they're taking that 2-0 lead, and I think that's the biggest thing that is very important. Today's a very important day. You know why? It's not because it's Premier League night for football. No, it's because we're seeing some madness coming in from Project Black. They're running Blackbeard on a site setup, on a formation that's not adjusted yet. You're 1 day into the new season. Why rush to bring him in? I agree with you. He's an operator. He brings a shield. He's a soft breacher with an AR, with a shield. Very critical. But are you going to keep risking losing rounds over something that's not fully adjusted to your site setups yet and to your attacking rounds yet? Because they've been struggling to get in. They're struggling to roam clear at that. They haven't even been bringing the right vertical soft breachers such as Ram. They've been bringing Buck and Ash, which has been the complete disaster for them. We haven't even been able to see them penetrate the first round of defense, and they've lost 2 straight. And we're seeing the advantages just go directly to Leonard's defense as they grow their exponential round lead.
Exactly, and I'll say more than that, Leonards, they have been changing more things around and thinking differently and showing that they got choices, they got a portfolio to use when it comes to the ops. But Project Black are repeating, and let's see if the outcome is going to be the same, because so far they have not gotten into the first map. It's been tough for them, and that kind of game plan, that kind of attack plan has got to change, has got to be twisted for their favor. As we see FOD moving already, this guy has been falling at the first seconds of each round, so it's going to be tough for him to stay alive and help the team longer than what he has been able to do. Madaraya taking Pete down. First pick again on the hands of Leonard. So it's been quite a game, quite a night for them. And like you said, the vertical work yet to be seen on the hands of Leonard. A lot of protection and expectations on where and how Project Black's going to be coming to.
This guy, FOD, you hear the saying, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. And apparently so, because he's been getting targeted. He's almost died 3 times as the first pick in a row. And they haven't even gotten past the first round of defenders. They're going directly for site now because they know they've wasted almost 2 minutes of straight crucial time, and all they've done in those 2 minutes is lose a player to a headshot to the man himself, Madaraya. He's ripping it up and he's having a great game. We can't say the same about Project Black because I already think it's in the early stages and a timeout needs to be called. They're struggling to win any gunfights or just get in the building. The first though could be called, gets called out. There's a minute left and Blackbeard is assuming space and he goes down once again. Madaraya on a double kill. Can he get the triple kill? He's waiting for it. He sees it. He gets taken down to 1 HP. Madaraya, you psychopath. He's still swinging and he's really low. All he has to do is rotate out. Cafeteria, this Ash is applying the pressure that is needed to be applied, and it will be a gunfight ensuing shortly. Can this headshot hit? It's going to be a battle of the one taps. Who can win it? Because all Madaraya has to do is hold, but time is on his side, even if he's getting affected by flashes, and it's a one tap in the favor of Zorks.
Yeah, Zorks could take him down. They were both dancing, right? Dancing around and strifing and counter strifing. So it was quite an interesting movement on both sides. And now it's a 4v2 as Zaka takes also Nerd. He's traded out at the sequence by Pizza. It's still a very good round for Leonards. Can they hold this one? Are they going to be able to stay stronger and stay alive at the end? Now just Zorza to face 3 alive players with his Ash. Okay, it's a fast operator, but again, you're totally outplayed, you're outnumbered. You have to face the fact that maybe you're not going to have all the information to respond to this one. And there it is, Leonards dropping this one again. Nice and strong. Yeah, making things done and dusted for Lamb and Project Black. They're not getting into the game so far.
They decided to completely give up on going for the vert, and they paid the price. Right. They didn't get upstairs. The Bandit tricked it very early into the round, which is round of applause for HCR because he got rid of those ace charges very, very early on. And that stopped him from getting in the 3rd floor. And then he made them pay even more by playing vert. Ace almost fell down to a Legion trap. It would have been very embarrassing if he did. Thank God he died to a gun. But something that is going to be dying is their dreams very soon as they're down 3-0. And it's not looking too good for them as now Leonard's defense is up 3-0. And we're looking at 3 more essential rounds. Can they bring it back? Can PBX bring it back and win 3 rounds in a row to tie it up? What is going on? Why are they so adamant on bringing this damn Blackbeard? It's not working and it never has.
Man, that Blackbeard, right? Being taken down after a bullet on his feet. So, seriously, are you kidding me? That's precisely when you know he cannot pick a Blackbeard again. That's why he's out of the game. And we see some changes come. Oh, there it is. He's still on hands. Just as I said, Fod's going to bring him up back once more. And we also have Flores on the hands of Pete, so I like those small adjustments. I saw quickly, I think you did too, a Brava, so maybe they could be going for more of a gadget kind of disabling, controlling. I would love to see that, you know, that track of action and facts and decisions for Project Black, but that was not the case yet. And as we move into the round number 4, Leonards are going to be almost repeating their choices, except for a Melusi on the hands of Harv. I'm going to be calling him Harv. It's going to be easier. And try to keep the leadership here, you know.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing you can say, man. You could just adore how Leonard is playing, but you also have to criticize because they keep bringing this Blackbeard. He almost just falls down to this C4, but he can't get a mirror off. That's the most effective he's been, and he's forced the mute off, and he still gets taken out first. What is going on? The Blackbeard had the easiest kill, and he still goes down. Zorks is in rafters. He's on the stairs. He has the control he wants. The mirrors are gone. This is the best step they've had. But you're having Mataraya punish you with your teammate watching you from rafters. What is going on? Because you're getting punished at every single mistake you make, even if it's microscopic, even if it's barely recognizable. You have Leonard's defense kicking their feet up and essentially saying, we are here, and they're going to hit every headshot they get. They capitalize on every single opportunity. The mute lives to see another day, even getting smacked in the face by Blackbeard. His teammates are there to back him up. And that is the support you need from your team to be able to win rounds. Sitting close with a shotgun on rafters, there's no way you win a gunfight like this when you're getting swung by all of the defenders. And Pizza finally having his teammates back. We finally see some sort of team coordination here as Mataraya lands another shot, making it a 4v2. Coordination or not, Mataraya's team, Leonard's defense always has it, so it's gonna struggle as a zombie locks him out of IT and then gets blown up. Pizza goes down. Melusi's looking for something, I don't know what, but you have Zorks on 1 HP going for the fight and falling to Zachariah once again.
Oh my god. What an exhibition by Leonard. Seriously, they're turning Night Haven Labs into a major giant castle, totally protected and entrenched against Project Black, who are not knowing how to operate on the attacking side of things, not, bringing that coordination. I think that's the word. I think you nailed it. They need more of that. After all, again, it's a collective game, so you're gonna need to do these team things like roaming better and having more information. That's why they changed things around now with the Lion. They need to seize at least one round right before the turn, the flip of the sides. So it's their time. They need to do more. And apparently with one man less here, it's going to be a 5v4. Tough for them.
That's what I was gonna say,
my.
Linux. You think they've been struggling
Right.
with 5 men? Imagine what's gonna happen with 4. They're down 4
Oh,
rounds,
boy.
and now they're down a man to 4 people. This isn't gonna be too pretty. And they have basement, the easiest site to castle off, the easiest site to sit back, relax, watch your favorite Netflix show, and call it a day. And it looks like they're doing so indeed. Goyo literally speeding through the map with this default walk. He's relaxed. These defenders could not be in such a good position. They are turning Nighthaven into a slaughterhouse, a massacre, if you will, because guess what? They're not doing too much. They're doing the basic takes that are even used in a rank. Nothing too special, nothing that isn't out of the ordinary, and they're winning on every single take. For the love of God, finally, we're not seeing FOD on Blackbeard, and we might see them be able to win in the first round if they don't have this Blackbeard on the board.
Listen, it may be soon enough to say this for me to declare this kind of things, but anyways, Liners Defense League, on the last game they had here in playoffs, they started winning. It was obviously a consulate. They've lost on that Nighthaven Labans, but here they're changing things around. So apparently they did their homework. So it's my point, right? So they have been getting better during the competition, and Harv taking one more down, 5v3. So whatever was already complicated is becoming impossible for Project Black.
What a shot by Harv. His crosshair was on the barricade before he even touched it. And as you said before, they're struggling, and they're struggling hard. They know they need to clean the kitchen. That's what they're going to do. They're going to look to clean up the kitchen. Very ironic with the site being in there indeed. And they're looking for the vert. I don't know what vert you're going to be looking for, but finally a pick goes in their way without being 3 bodies down or 4 bodies down. Can they find this Legion? You see his feet. Can you punish him on it? You give up your element of surprise, and this is maybe going to potentially sacrifice your ability to take him out. He knows he needs to hold. He has 2 goo mines in the pocket, and it's Unser. He walks right into the bullets, and he's going to go down. But having him down and having the slight possibility he can get stimmed is also going to be a very big punishment. But guess what? Zork is there to finish up the kill. 1 minute, 30 seconds left, and it's actually evened out. This is the closest they've got. Azami, don't swing out because you're going to get punished. It's not looking great for Linard's defense. I told you maybe that Blackbeard was just a bad luck charm because they're doing better with a man down than they were when they had 5 people. In a one tap.
Yes, Zachariah taking Pete down, like you said, man, it was a bad charm, right? So changing things around, yeah, they're looking better, they're looking solid. That glimpse of a vertical work was already enough for them to resist more during this round number 5. As we see FOD coming from up, trying to repeat the successful play. It's going to be him and Zork to try to respond to Linards at this very end, but Harv is amazing today, not leaving room for anything else. Taking FOD down is going to be just Zork versus 3 guys. It's going to be complicated. He's taking a look. He's trying to get protected. It's tough. Reloading, getting back on position. What a bullet against Harv. Ilias was ready to go. And Linards make it up again. It's a 5-0 on the scoreboard. Amazing, amazing, amazing start for them on this series.
Is this the worst blowout we've seen in the ESA Cup? I'm thinking, yes, this is pretty bad. They're struggling. Ilyas's name is 7 a.m. And guess what? He's been up since 7 a.m. thinking on how he's going to destroy Project Black X, because guess what? Every corner they take, they're punished. We saw beautiful gunshots from Madaraya and Zachariah. And Harv is here to punish at every single step. It doesn't matter whether it's a spawn peek. It doesn't matter if he's going to walk in. It doesn't matter if the defenders or attackers walk right into the crosshair. He's here to execute, and he's here to capitalize on every single mistake that Linard's defense make. And now, this is going to be the last defense they get. Can they go up 6-0 on attack or on defense? My mistake. They have one last round to prove themselves. If they do, we're going to see an absolute slaughter. We might see the first 7-0. I think it's the first time I've casted the ESA I've seen a 7-0. What do you think, Lanex? Have you ever seen a 7-0 go on?
Man, I think I got close, right? I think I saw a 7-1 was the most one-sided map that I've casted here in the season. So it's gonna be amazing for them to be able to do that, because yesterday, for example, at the first map of the series, we have saw Entropy doing that, right? So they opened kind of 7-1, 7-2, I guess, versus Molotov Gang. But then at the second map, things totally changed around. So they got to be cautious. I mean, winning the first map is a huge step, but it's not enough. They got to keep working. The focus needs to be there. After all, it's all about moving forward in the brackets and facing Entropy Gaming at the next phase. So it's going to be tough anyways. And now, a bit of a contact. Oh, you see this work. Pizza trying to breach in, but he was already pulled to the back by a lot of those Linards players. Their defensive systems are amazing, aren't they?
Yes, they are indeed. Madurai getting punished very, very early, but we're already seeing Zofia get a lot of damage. And the fact that Pizza has lost one of his exothermic charges to this Bend trying to trick on the breach. Now, being down a body on defense is an advantage, yes, but is it really an advantage when you've gotten one of your hard breachers tricked? So you have to pick a wall because you don't have that ace as your backup, and they're carrying 3 C4s. It's not looking too beautiful. I know this isn't PC Siege, but these loadouts are a little concerning. Lion's not running the 416, and they're flashing their own teammates. It's a nightmare. They're trying to flash into sight, and Thermite tries to walk in while flashed. What a nightmare, as Pete is here to punish Uncer, but look at this position from Harv. If he can hold down IT, it's going to be horrible, because having this room is going to be the best thing you can have, and hopping up on this is that element of surprise. You can watch the stairs. You can watch anything. Anybody swinging you off rafters, and I think this is where it's all going to happen. Whoever wins this gunfight is going to decide how the rest of the round is going to work out. Thermite's off the board. No more hard breaches. Zachariah taking some extra damage, but landing that M18 to the face, taking out Nerd Sync. It's not looking beautiful for them. They just keep giving up those advantages. It was a blessing from God. They got that man up, and they're going right back. FOD finally using a gun instead of a shield, but they are all at 1 HP, and 1 C4 could decide the round. In the cases upstairs, lost on a site that's mid-floor, and it's a 2v1. They've given it up yet again in Zofia's 1 HP lane. This is so bad for them.
It's terrible for them, and FOD finally, like you said, bringing the bullets, bringing the damage. Amazing work with his Zofia. Finally delivering and doing what he needs. He's trying his best versus 2 players, Ilias and Harv, to be the guys alive here and to put things even at a better spot for Liners. To be honest, it's already a very much one-sided map so far. We're gonna be seeing what is gonna roll. It's Bandit and Amira versus a kind of a heavy operator as in Zofia. So he's gonna be able to move and find the bullets and find the pixels for this one. Not a lot of HP, so you know his trading has got to be fast and furious for him to have a chance.
He's picked up the case, but what does he really expect to achieve here? They hear the plank going on. There is no way in hell you think with 1 concussion and 3 HP on the dot, you can be tapped by any gun in the game and go down, that you think you are going to be able to play this. He's actually gotten the case down. Kudos to him for taking the case and running away to make sure he doesn't sacrifice the gunfight. But FOD, you're put in a very difficult position here. They're circling like sharks, and you go down to Harv. It's over. It's a 6-0 lead. And if they can bring this back, I will personally donate to whatever organization you guys want me to, because I've never seen anybody come back from a 6-0 lead, and this differential is just getting worse and worse and worse. Is it going to be a mental chalk for Project Black X, or is this going to be something that they're going to use as fuel to come in swinging from the next game?
Well, they're gonna have to change things around, aren't they? Because Bank as a second map is gonna be a force. It's gonna be interesting to say the least, between Liners and Project Black, 2 teams that, again, they have walked so differently from the last phase of the championship now to the playoffs, and it's gonna be great to see how Liners especially are gonna be keeping the focus, right? Especially because Project Black, they lost a guy briefly during this first map, so that could change your mindset. Obviously, that can have an impact on how confident you feel to move onwards in the next rounds. I'm eager to see if that's going to play a role until the end of the series, but regardless, here, talking about this round specifically, we see a Fenrir on the hands of Pizza, and let's see how that Fenrir is going to be able to obviously induce the fear that he needs to induce against like Linux players, or if it's gonna be another random kind of casual, pick. I don't know. Project Black, they need to show more. I mean, they have shown that during the championship, and now absolutely more than before. It's the time.
I agree with you completely. We're going to see their first site be basement. Out of everywhere to pick, basement, and at that, they're going to go downstairs. They're not even going to bring any wall denial, and they're going to reinforce the Animus hatch. This means if they lose that small box to Uncert, they lose anything here, they're absolutely screwed. There's no way to sugarcoat it. You lose this first breach that he's just gotten with no interference because of no denial being brought, and they get in the site, and that hatch remains closed, they're over. Clearing the vert doesn't even mean anything. I don't know if they've opened up this hatch or reinforced it, but it looked like they were reinforcing it. As we see in the peripheral vision, they have. They've gotten access. They have the Mira. They clear that Mira. This round is over. This game is done, and we're going to be heading on to map 2. Pizza being all the way across the map. We're seeing 3 essential roamers. They can hold this. It might be beautiful. What a shot by FOD, but shortly going down after, tied up 4-4. Can Goyo find the second pickers? Nook gonna win it. She takes him down to 50 HP. Can Madurai take him out? Again, they're just dancing with each other. It's kind of beautiful on how they know what they want to do, how they want to walk in the building and get those picks in. Buck fighting Pizza, and it's another pick in the favor of Leonard's defense. It's an absolute blowout lane.
Yes, it is. And Linears like to now move things faster, not allow for Project Black totally to defeat their, how can I say, stealth and his power. Because Linears, when they brought Demos and brought also Knock, they could be expecting for more of a gradual build up, but that's not gonna be the case if Project kills you more. But Demos fall, now Knock, okay, now they're gone. Now they're gonna have to go loud with that run to potentially stand a shot here versus Project. Let's see what is gonna roll. Harv rolling. Let's see if he's gonna find someone. 3v3, a balanced kind of round where I would say PBX, they're beginning to like the game. Maybe too late, but let's see if they're gonna have a chance versus Leonards.
Yes, for sure. Pizza realized it was too late. Time to head back to site. Ace bringing his last 2 Selma charges for this Animus hatch to provide that oversight that is needed. Now, all of the defenders have headed back to site. They have this Mira pop. They have the pressure from Cargo. And this means they can essentially start pinching in. And that's why Uncert has just rotated all the way over to the main breach. Fenrir going up to punish one. You have 3 people running up EXO. What is the problem here? Why are they doing SWAT rushes? This is something you see out of TV. They walk in together, hands held, walking up EXO. And they leave all of sight soft. They leave it all unattended. He can just walk in for a plant here if he can force one body, one capitalized headshot, and the round will be over. 26 seconds left. The bulletproof camera will be locating Animus. This is going to be very, very bad. Ladies and gentlemen, Uncert lands 1 headshot, and it's a trade as well as 1 attacker being Ilias goes down as well to 2v2. 14 seconds left on the clock. It's going to be a battle of the fraggers. And you have Fenrir in such a good position to be watching upstairs, but the plant's going to go down, and you're not going to be able to watch it. Seeing the toes off of the vert, you banish Harv from the game. Nerd Sync, 1 kill from Uncert through the vert, and he's safe. It's a 1v1 situation. 37 seconds left. What's going to happen here? It's a 1v1. And it's a headshot towards Uncert to land out the round. Map 1 has been decided. What are your thoughts, Lane X?
Oh my god. Uncert, triple kill, guys. My god, what did he do? I was gonna say that he was the mystery guy, right? We never casted him so much as bringing his name up to the table. As he followed, we could see him totally shining at the end. Uncert doing it all and finishing it off. I mean, what a roster. Amazing work. I like how he, stepped up and said, hey, I'm also part of the team. He was the only player without a positive KDA. So, he was the man, how can I say, owning us a little bit when it comes to trading and being up there in the 1v1s. And he did it. He managed to help the team at the very last second. So congratulations for Leonards wrapping this one up in a high note, right? We saw quality. Come on, 7-0, flawless victory. So I'm hoping for more at the second map. What are your thoughts?
There's nothing more you can say. All you can say is congratulations. They're so happy. They took that 7-0. Now, again, there's 2 ways this can go for both teams. That means either Leonard's defense can take this to the next step and just 14-0 them in 2 maps, or Project X can use that as fuel, as motivation to win that second map. Now, losing on your own picked map, not the best of ideas. You're losing that beneficiary. You've practiced. But why practice if you're just going to bring an operator that just got added into the game? You got punished at every single step. Or maybe Project X just cannot keep up with Leonard. We've seen beautiful holds. We've seen them capitalize and overcome when they'd go down on bodies. And Uncert taking somebody out from vert, turning around and taking off somebody's head directly from Cargo. It's beautiful 1v1s. It's beautiful teamwork, and they just play off of each other. It is so beautiful, and we will be heading into map 2 soon. Lanex?
Yes, we're going to be right back with you guys. So stay with us. Follow ESA Cup, obviously, here at Twitch and also on social media. We're going to be back. And back we are, me, the Brazilian Lanex, with my Canadian friend Sino. Sino, we have seen an override. We have seen such a magisterial performance by Leonards. And to a point where, what can we expect for the second map? Come on.
I mean, we seen Project Black. They picked Nighthaven. So, I mean, god damn. I think those are the only 2 words I can say. Those are the only things on my mind. Their second map, LDL picked Bank. Now, if a team that you wanted to surprise by playing NHL on 7-0'd you on your own home turf, you're going away to their map. They know what they want to do on that map. They can capitalize on everything, and they beat you 7-0. I think that would be the first time in the ESA we're going to see a 14-0 advantage. And let's take a look at this beautiful, beautiful map constructed by Ubisoft themselves. You gotta love Bank, the way it looks, the way you can play it. And again, as you mentioned right before the first game, it's a sandwiched map. There's 3 floors, and it's very, very important. As we load in, let us take a look at our first ban being Nook. What the hell?
Yes, I mean that knock was a knock on the door for PBX. Coming from Leonard was a complicated operator to deal with, especially combined with demos. So yeah, out of considerations now. Let's see what Leonards are going to be banning, and it's going to be a Monty. Yes, going for the safe choice here and avoiding that for PBX.
I mean, seeing the Monty ban isn't all too common. I mean,
right?
In the new season. Last season, yes, get Monty out of here. We never want to see him play, but he's as useful as a broken potato now. I don't know why we were bringing shield ops. The Blackbeard, the Monty, and the Blitz, just as useless. The only one that can be good is the Blitz because of that surprise he brings with those flashes. Monty, if you punch him enough, the gradual hits do allow you to break his shield totally, even if he's fully extended. So I do think that was a waste of a ban, but Kaid, very good ban, as they're going to start on attack and they want to get those hatches open when they go downstairs or when they want to open up one of those second floor sites.
Amazing. And Valky to complete this setup of band operators. So yeah, not a lot of information coming from her, but you still got Brava, you still got a lot of options. As we do know, the operators pool is amazingly huge into Rainbow Six Siege by Ubisoft. And we're talking about round number 1. We're going to be seeing kind of a standard combo here, like with Goyo, Echo, and Azami and Water. These guys are usually together, not the 4 of them, obviously, always, but, you know, 3 of them at least you can see always roaming and rolling together. And obviously, we're going to also have to see that to Baron, who's going to be able to, as we know, freeze those walls and delay, waste Leonard's time. Who are going to have to be assertive. I want to see them attacking this time, right? So, you know, we have seen them defending so well into Nighthaven Labs. Now it's their time to take the charge, take the action.
And yeah, just to add on to that, you have the advantage of defending first. Can you capitalize on it? Now, you don't bring your Mira. Exactly. This is a little concerning. You have the Azami, you have the Goyo, very good, not too shabby. And you're bringing the Tubby as the replacement for Kaid, but not bringing a Mira. Are they insane? They've been struggling by capitalizing. You would think bringing an operator with a one-way mirror would capitalize their advantages and help them. But they've preferred and opted out not to. So we're going to see very classic choices from Leonard's defense, bringing the Soft Breacher Buck, bringing the second Soft Breacher Ram, which I don't know how that's applicable unless they're going to clear them from the 3rd floor, which I can almost guarantee you they're going to do. Ilias bringing those live pings, and he's already used one of those Grims, and you do have Unser on the Thermite, Mataraya being your spear entry on Ash. Now, this is going to be a very, very authoritative round in the favor of both teams, really. Whoever wins this round is going to set the terms on how this game is going to play. If Leonard wins this, it's going to be another day in the office. If Project Black wins this, however, it might be finally that stepping stone for them to take that advantage.
Absolutely, I agree with you. And also, it's cool to see Grim, right, for the first time in the series, 4 leaners now to help on that planning process of the C4 underground. So they're always changing. These guys are creative. They are always like reversing expectations coming from PBX against them and try to have the upper hand like they did in the first map. So I'm loving to see them on their prime. I have never casted them this season, to be fair. So it's going to be my first time seeing them roll up in a series potentially, or as we do know, PBX can totally come and reverse things around, as we already see FOD trying to click here to obviously stay on the top of everything that is happening. A very, very nice amount of those their barriers brought by Azami now also to keep themselves locked and loaded. So it's going to be cool to see Leonards attacking and breaching in, but PBX are looking solid so far.
As casters, do we say what is going on, or do we say what are they even doing? We've seen Tubby just sacrifice his C4 to blow up a hatch. You've wasted the most crucial utility you could have found this Ram on, and she's circling like a shark, and you're having your Grim ping up anybody trying to push you through blue. You're dealing with hell to pay. You're getting Grim, you're getting Goyo canisters, and this is going to be very hard for them to win. Second C4 is going to be burned, leaving 0 in the pocket of all of the defenders. Warden's getting live pinged. They're pushing the attackers away, and they've all dropped back into site in the basement. They have control of the whole map. There's 44 seconds left, and I don't think an execute is too crazy to occur right now. 2 kills in the hands of Mataraya and Unser. It's a 5v3, and again, all hells are breaking loose. What is going on? They've opened up the 7 gates of hell. They're opening up the breach. All they have now to help is those echoes, those yokais, and the Volcan canisters. What's going to go on here as Harv is applying the pressure? And they have so much utility to use. 20 seconds might be enough for them to start using their smokes, run in and get the plant down, but they need to do something as Harv is the second body to go down in the favor of the defenders. It's a double for Zorks. They're bringing it back. Never mind. 2 bodies for Mataraya yet once again. The plant's going to go down. And Pizza, can he find it? He's bringing that Echo Drone. 4 seconds left. Can he deny it? Are they going to be waiting? He denies it. Does he win the round? No, he doesn't. He sticks it. And he's forced in that 1v3 situation. They're doing ring around the rosy, and Buck takes him out to decide that first round.
Yeah, an amazing encounter to wrap the first round at the garage, and we could expect for him to be able to deal some damage, but as we do know, a lot of those opponents alive on the other side makes your life tougher. So an amazing effort, especially I would say when it comes to roaming by Leonard's, right, to try to rotate with 3 guys at the floor of the bomb side and 2 other working on the upper floor to have that kind of information and, you know, to offer you with more and better insights, to be honest. So what a good start. Again, a hot start by Leonards to seize the moment and also keep the momentum on their side. So Sino, it's already a 8-0 so far, 8-0 when it comes to rounds. PBX have not, you know, scored anything so far here. What is happening to these guys today?
I don't even know. I think at this point, the least of your worries is about taking a round and more so using your tactical timeout. Yeah. You have one of your teammates that has a potato as his router. He's jittering, he's lagging all over the place. He's disconnected when you need him the most. We're seeing them, and he got subbed out. But you need to call the timeout. There's just nothing else. We're only 1 round in, but you're down 8 rounds in 2 consecutive maps. That is probably the saddest scoreline I have heard in all of my 2024 casting of the year. This is bad. Possible to bring it back, but very unlikely. If they take this to map 3, I'd be surprised myself, because right now, the way they're playing, they're getting the picks that they need so late after they've already been punished. It's not looking good enough, and the beneficiaries just aren't there, as they're just allowing the attackers to walk into the building every single time, no matter what map we're on.
You know, it's tough looking back from whatever PBX done this season. It's tough to believe or expect something totally different or out of the pocket from them, since, you know, if you take a look at the last results, they have just won against like weaker teams. Let's put it this way, very respectfully. But yeah, they have never managed to totally beat someone, for example, from 2 new on maps at this point. So it's complicated for them to believe in themselves inside of a game that is totally being you know, led by Leonards on whatever they want to do from now on. We see a nice bullet from Zorza, but he seems to be alone in this team. The whole squad, the whole roster is becoming too heavy for him to keep carry on. Harv, that, you know, gives the damage back onto him, so it's already reset for PBX, and Leonards are again on the leadership over here, Sino.
This is what I mean. They got a pick. They lost 2 in turn. It's 1 step forward, 45 steps back. They keep losing their advantage. And Azami, this is a pixel of hell. This is an easy kill for her. If she loses this Azami, man, I don't know what else to say. It's so crucial for them to capitalize on the picks when they get them. And they're faltering. They're getting the picks. Yes, that's something we cannot take away from them. But do they lose more bodies? Yes, is also something you can say. So it's a little bit of a double-edged sword. And Harv, again, dancing and dancing again. And I think he's going to win this gunfight. But guess what? Why need to win a gunfight when you have Unser with a fully automatic AK-12 to shoot solo in the back? It's a 4v2 and almost going to be a 3v2. But guess what? Mataraya's gun skill's too good, and it's a 4v0. Azami goes 6 feet under, and it's 2-0 decided in the favor of Lingard's defense.
Already, you know, hitting the replay button, right? From the map number 1 to here, these guys just swapped the sides, but they're doing the same. They're seizing the actions and the spaces in the map, so there's almost nothing that PBX can do to punish these guys from Leonards. I don't see a lot of those punishments coming from their side, so they're gonna be needing to more and better from now on. Also, not changing a lot on the picks again. Almost, in a stubborn way, like repeating those choices, and again, giving themselves maybe a chance to work better on that matter when it comes to defending. Let's see if they're going to be able to also hold a better spot set on that aisle, because as we also know, into back, it's a very, very crucial area where you can have a line of sight. You can also use those utilities and block those walls. But when it comes to the action, when it comes to having those trades, you gotta be better. You gotta do more. And PBX are not doing those triggers. They're not, fighting well so far. That's also tough for them, right? So the defensive plan and the fighting side of things are not going to their side.
I completely agree with you. They can't win on attack. They can't win on defense. What can they do? It's not looking too good for them. They're looking to struggle at every single barricade they get. They get hit with a problem. They get down, put down their weapons, and say, I give up. It's not looking too beautiful, but again, we're looking at upstairs. Now, this is either a very frowned site or a very beloved site. Now, knowing this, they're either going to capitalize this or going to kill and get 45 people taken out in the matter of 30 seconds. They lose so many bodies, and I think this is what was happening last time when me and you casted last week. We seen one team be able to adapt to the slower pushes, and the other one try to go off flashy plays and get punished at every single turn for losing those flashy plays. And this is what's happening right here. Textbook case as he tries to go for a flashy play, and Unsert punishes him. What are you doing? And you get taken out, Goyo down, and one Vulcan canister left in his pocket. It's not looking too great for them already.
Yeah, that was a very, very sad early loss, right, for PBX. Again, PBX, I don't know if they did their homework by watching the last games from Linnards, because Linnards, they basically won 2 times into bank in previous matches, interestingly, versus strong opponents. I would say at the first round, we could say a 7-3 for them versus MVG, for example. I'm going to be quick on this because the round is rolling. But again, a victory also in bank against Crown Zero team. So amazing exhibitions by Linnards on this very map. And, PBX, they're looking to be the third victim over here because they already lost a lot of guys. It's a more even, final seconds of round. Okay, things could happen. Let's see if PBX is going to be still alive at this one.
I think this is the first time me and you have seen a 3v3.
Yes.
Under 2 minutes left.
So.
This has been finally an even round. The question is, can they capitalize on it? Vigil,
yeah.
He's still doing Vigil things. He's went back into executive, meaning all operators are now back near the site, or at least near it off a soft drone. A minute left is either plenty of time or not too much time, depending on how a team wants to push and when they want to and where. But seeing 2 smokes come out from Brava, she has access to her clutch drones, and 2 flashes from Harv in a fully automatic R4C, it's going to be very difficult for the defenders. The only thing they have going for them right now is there is no breaches open, and their ace went down before he can make an impact. Now, we are going to look at a very classic ATMs and executive clamp. Hopefully they can punish them, but we do see Zachariah's Ash Charge be used to open up a rotate in his site, taking that argument away from no breaches being used.
And look at the patience, right? Look at the pace from Linnards, building this slowly at their own will, not being anxious or eager too much to expose themselves. I like how that Bravo was also obviously getting the information before the action comes out, some vert work, and now it's the time to define this one as a 3 news gonna happen. That distraction coming from the Ram also helping them a lot. Also to break the chaos onto the PBX defenses. Harv taking Zorza, Zakaria versus Solo. It's gonna be just Ford versus 3 guys. Is he gonna be able to make this one happen, or he's gonna be falling to the ground against Harv? Another very nice final bullet by him. This man is a beast. He already deserves his statue. Right, his status ahead of Linnards headquarters because he's playing so well, and it's not his first time doing that. What a player, 3-0, nothing else to say.
I mean, I'm flustered too. I don't know what else to say. They just know exactly where they're going to come from. They did a quick scan of site. They said, okay, we've punished the first guy. Now, why are we not getting shot at? And they realized, oh, wow, yeah, he's right behind us. They flip the script. They don't plant on the default, and they take him out. Vigil just completely tossed that round. They're down 3-0, making that a combined of 10 rounds to 0. If this isn't a blowout, I don't know what is. Vigil drew a plastic silhouette around the bodies of Ram. He could have gotten 2 kills, as they had no idea he was there, and they got punished. And For that, I have to say, can we get our heads in the game? Put me on as your manager and I'll give you the speech you need, or call a timeout, because you need to get your head in the game. 13 seconds left before we head on into the action phase. We're going to be seeing a main denial again with the Goyo, now with the Echo and the Tubby. Very identical, but now bringing the Bandit as that 5th operator that's going to be different to the roster.
It's going to be great to see. Again, Linear's doing their gameplay slowly, like we saw before, and that must be so annoying, right? When you're losing for a 3-0, you see your opponent so comfortable, not going blasty, not going totally there, but, you know, taking rooms one by one. It's an amazing and patient effort by Linear's. Again, I have to emphasize that. I cannot emphasize actually that enough today, but like you said, 10-0 when it comes to a sequence of rounds, so an amazing run so far. PBX needing an urgent rework on their own internal lines and talking better and adjusting things for the next season, because obviously we're gonna be heading into the season number 10 next year. This is the number 9. We're wrapping here with pleasure for you guys. So don't forget to also follow ESA Cup all over on the social media in here, and also write at the chat, what are your expectations? Are we going to be talking about a 14-0 today? History is being written right here, so, you know, before us. So yeah, but I still believe, you know what, like I'm gonna you know, have to make the devil's a lawyer here. I still believe on PBX. I think they can bring to us like at least 1-2 rounds. Let's see if that's gonna be the case, because Zakaria takes Zorka down. As a response, Harv is not alive, so maybe it's gonna be a complicated late round for Linux.
Do you really believe? Because it sounds like you already made up your mind about this 14-0. We finally saw them get that C4. It was looking all great until the man himself just gets punished. And Zork got a C4 kill and got traded out literally instantly. Now they have access to the hatches. They have one defender to worry about, and it's the ward in the top stairs. He's not even considered a roamer because he is on top blue, and all of the defenders know he's not an expected roamer. If they can get the server hatch open, they have that pressure into sight. They have the pressure on the ward, and now he knows he's carrying a shotgun, and you need the Grim. You know why? Because if you don't have live pings onto this warden, you are going to get one thing in return, and that's going to be a shotgun shell to the face. Now, 1 minute left on the board. This is the best they've held. It's 4v4. No damage additionally, but Grim will be opening up the hatch, as I was speaking before, and Warden will not be walking up yet. And this might be the punishment for being too patient. He has to go down or he's going to go up, and it's one of the two. He needs to pop this Goyo, and he's going to get forced down as well. And it's going to be very, very good on the side of Project Black. This is the most compromising, promising round they've had so far.
Absolutely. They are standing so strong so far, right? 4 guys alive versus 4, also from Linear's. But you know what? I still believe. You know, back to the point, I still think they can bring us like at least 1 round, 2 rounds. I think there's gonna be maybe an anxiety from Linear's eventually here or there. It's impossible to think of a 14-0. Come on, PBX, show a little bit more to us. As we see Goyos already, canisters, you know, making an effect and keeping the players flamed out of there. Unsurt again, being a very, very good player into taking fought down. So with that said, it's gonna be complicated to see who's going to be winning this round, because Uncertainty is on the ground. He's so important on the front lines. It's a 3v3. The clock is ticking, and the round is gonna go. Let's see, Madaria, Zakaria, double kill. It's a matter of Sutter alone to be alive versus Zakaria, who wasn't strong. Facing him, getting traded out because Elias was the last one to be alive.
Where did they get the case down? It wasn't even in their pocket. It wasn't even possible. They just made the impossible happen. I think it's just favored at this point. They really don't want them getting around. I thought it was finally over. I thought we were finally going to see it in the favor of Project X. We could have said, good job, let's get in the favor. But I mean, I'm at a loss for words. They got punished with the case down in 2 seconds left. All they had to do was wait. And they still got out fragged with 10 seconds left on the board. What do you think of this, Lane X? This is not looking too great.
This is not, and the question I got to you, actually, you know, firing back to you very quickly, is, are we getting into a kind of a trolling zone? I don't know, right? I mean, you look at PBX, there's not a lot much to try. They have tried a lot, since obviously the last map, and now they bring, obviously, a Capcan. I was going to say that. They're missing some level of, you know, how can I say, tricky operators, creating those traps to try to, you know, catch LDL out of guard. Because Linear's are going so linearly. They were, you know, from the first seconds to the last ones, they know what they're doing. They're having the decisions on their side. So nothing is working for PBX, but maybe a different pick, maybe a different operator, maybe going for that defense with a tighter, amount of lines, not going just roaming out there. Maybe, I don't know, maybe something along those lines can happen to help PBX actually.
Now, I don't want to sound too biased, but all I can say here is it is a hit or miss with this trap op against a very crucial team, such as Leonard's defense. You have the Brava. It's very crucial to be able to win your gunfights, but does it really matter when you've gotten 2 kills in blue already? It's 2 kills in the favor of Zachariah, and the defense has already fallen. Capcan, no Capcan. Swiper, no Swiper. They're already in the building. 4-0, 5v3. There's nothing you can ask for here except for to just lie back, relax, grab your popcorn, because you are never going to see another series where it is a 5v2, and they're already in. That Volcan canister's a little too late. This is a flawless round. Never not. Maybe not. It's a 4v1 round, and it's over. It is going to go very, very close to a secondary 7-0 as we have one more last round before we see them do that attacker-defender switch. Are they going to keep laying down and taking this, or are they going to finally say, we've had enough, let's turn it around? Because it's not looking like that. It's looking like they're going to lie down and take it.
But I'm going to tell you this. PBX needs to urgently, turn their monitors on, turn the computers on. Something's not rolling for them. These guys are not finding themselves today. And I got curious at this point, because Leonard's LDL Valour, are they this strong? Or, what could have gone bad for them versus, for example, Team Arsgard, which was the first playoffs match that LDL had at this championship phase. So they have lost for 2-1 on maps. I don't know what happened. Now I want to watch that game, to see whatever didn't work well for Leonard's, or also how strong are Team Asgard here in the championship, because we are casting at this moment the lower bracket game. So it means Leonard's, they lost to someone, and it's bizarre to think that, right? These guys have won against everybody, but finally getting back again, looking at this game here at a high note versus PBX, who are totally lost 5-0. It's tough to think of a reverse, but I'm gonna be alongside you. If they ever make this happen, I'm gonna donate to an institution. Let's talk about that after, because it's gonna be impossible to see today.
I don't even think it's an institution at this point. You have to put me in an institution because the first pick has already been decided. We're 10 seconds in, and Mataraya punishes Zorgs. Square, thinking a flower pot and a brick wall is going to save his life, but with the amount of drones these guys do and the amount of adhesiveness they have together, the cohesion they have together is going to be beautiful. They decide what they want to do and when. The first Volcan canister hasn't even been popped yet, and they've gotten a pick. The only thing I can say is it's a 5v3 in the favor of Mataraya, and this isn't even a game anymore. It's just an episode of Tom and Jerry. It's just horrifying for them to see. What is going on here, Lane?
Yeah, this is already almost one of those friendly matches where the stronger teams is just warming the players and giving them some minutes on the field. It's looking like that because not much coming from PBX side, even though Pizza just takes half down. 4v3, so it's on PBX hands to make this longer, and painful, or just shorter, and already go back home. They're not finding themselves, like I said, on any level, on any capacities here of an FPS game. It's tough for them to resist even. The rounds are getting shorter because they cannot fight versus the Linux players. And as we say that, 4v2 with Uncert rolling well in the stairs, trying to reach the upper floors. It's going to be tough for them to breathe again because Pizza is already brought to the floor, and Sutter is going to be the last one to shut off the lights.
I am throwing my hands up in disbelief. What is going on here? This is criminal. 6-0. This is going to be a 13-0 advantage in 2 maps. 2 maps! Ladies and gentlemen, if you have seen anything this bad before, I want you to send me a DM personally. And if you've seen a 14-0 in such a prestigious league, then I'll donate to you. I'll donate to the institution. I'll check myself into the hospital because it's 6-0. It's match point and we finally switch. And Fod, what are you doing? You're right back on that Blackbeard. Why? Okay. Why? And why?
Now they're just saying goodbye at a high note to the championship, right? They're saying, all right, you know what, guys, Linux, we get it. Okay, 13 rounds in a row, we understand. So they're going to be trolling a little bit with Hibana, with Blackbeard again. These guys are, totally out of the competition already. Linux looking so solid. Had a very, very cool game so far, guys. I'm hoping you guys are having fun as much as I am having, and as much as Sino is having as well. We also have Void with us here at the backstage. We have a whole team from ESA Cup to provide you guys this broadcasting, this casting as well. So, it has been nice, but it's been fast, especially for PBX.
I wish it would be a longer cast, man. This is just absolute highway robbery. And at this point, we're not even going to say congratulations because they're laid back. They're playing by trolling. WESA in the chat and WVoid as we going through, because guess what, man? I don't think this game is going to last much longer. They're getting punished at every single turn. PBX has decided to do the complete offensive of bringing 2 shields and 2 frags with a Finka as their support. And I think that is going to be the rush strat. Maybe this is what works. They finally win on the advantage. Can they finally find a round here, Lane? I think it's all going to come down to this. We're waiting in anticipation. The second body goes down. The C4 from hell. No connections. Blackbeard getting punished again. FOD, you keep that shield down more than you use it. And they're finally looking like they're going to win a round.
Well, whenever you take the pressure out of your shoulders, right, suddenly you become a phoenix and you eventually can come back on top, because see what is happening here. Pizza all taken down by Badaria. Let's see what is going to roll. I think, on the hands of Zors. I want to see that operator. I'm asking for our team to show her. Let's see what she can do. Hard versus 3. Is he going to be able to bring a lot of emotion to us, and save Leonards at this very point?
I don't even think a 14-1 would be something your dignity can be saved. You played a total of 14 rounds and you won a singular. Now, they're struggling. I think they finally will be able to find it.
There it is.
And ladies and gentlemen, I don't even know what to say. Take a big gasp. Take a sip of water. They finally won a round and we move on to potentially probably the second last round.
All right, PBX. Now it's just a matter of reversing it all. Let's see if you guys can do that. There's still time. Hey, the game's not over. They're gonna be going with a blitz and then Blackbeard again. Come on, all I'm asking now at this point from PBX is show us that kind of a blitz execution, right, with all the guys behind, and just breaching in the room. It's gonna be amazing to see that kind of effect to the game. And Leonard's already obviously talking about the next phase and considering possibilities. I want to cast these guys again. Honestly, it's going to be amazing. But as for now, Leonards, they still need to just drop this game and send us all back to the couch, because they have done their homework today,
Yeah, man, that physics homework is looking real nice after this, because there's just nothing to do. I could probably do it right now without falling asleep, because it's just an absolute blowout. Yes, there's a lot of action, but you know what? There isn't a lot of competition. We're looking at a blowout after blowout after blowout. And if this happens again, if we see a blowout in a championship, I'm going to lose my mind. My marbles lost all over the ground, because if they manage to lose 2 in a row, we are going to see finally PBX looks like they've turned on their monitors, as you said before, and maybe plugged in their controllers if they felt like it, but I feel like that would be asking for too much, as they are still down 5 essential rounds.
Amazing. Yes. Leonard's Defense League looking once more strong after that small unhappy, let's say, episode versus Team Asgard, when they lost in the upper bracket quarterfinals here at the ESA Cup, season number 9. And that's why they're facing PBX today. Let's see how things going to be rolling. Suddenly being taken down by Elias, so it's going to be a traditional 5v4, and even the jokes cannot stand to the test of time and to the test of the rounds here. From Leonards versus PBX, man, it's amazing to see how PBX are beginning to like the game. That Finka is gonna come again to the round. So, okay, is that their good charm here from PBX? That Finka, what do you think? Or nothing?
I think it's just they're just trying to ensue chaos, I think, is the main reason here. Because by rushing, that's the only thing that's been working. But something that I've been seeing, Blitz tried to take a gunfight with a pistol, and he aimed for the stars, and he hit the moon. He missed every single bullet, didn't land a single connection, and now you have one more shield up, and it's FOD. That's very unlucky. FOD, I love you, brother, but you have managed to go down almost first time every single round using Blackbeard, and it looks like they're way more relaxed. Even being down a body, they're very close to evening it out. Knowing how aggressive they get, they're still relaxed. No plant is going down yet. You have players in every single position to be able to take it out, and as I say it, FOD gets his head taken off his body. He's 6 feet under. No bueno for him. Zachariah just fighting it out. Might be able to punish this Ash on the windows here. And it's looking like Ace wants to walk into the building and get that diffuser down. It's a 3v3. It is all quiet on the western front as Unsert has his drones preset. And he has the punch holes. Nobody is going to expect the happy face punch holes. Do you expect this to go in the favor of PBX or Leonard's defense lane?
I think Leonard's gonna seize this one because Zaka, look at this guy, right? Double Q. He's already at 13-2 when it comes to killing versus dying. So he's a force. Not only him, but Madaria, who apparently is his brother. Madaria is a Zakaria, you get it. These guys are so amazing today, doing so well. Beautiful work. 4 Leonards doing everything they can. 3v2, so it's a matter of wrapping it up and allowing us some dessert time. Come on. We have Zork and Pizza on the other hand, on the other side. I would say they're the strongest players from PBX, not only because of the numbers, but because of whatever they have been doing since the map number 1. Pizza's gonna maybe go down. It's gonna be tough for him to stay alive and keep up with the facts. Zork is gonna be the one maybe to be able to trade longer. 2v2 anyways, you know, it's a very long wrap of a round, isn't it?
Yeah, realistically, all Echo had to do was get those drones preset, but the defuse will go down. Something in the favor of them. But Finka goes down. No surges in the favor. He's whipped out the pistol. He has no mags left in the AK-12. And the gunfight is over. Wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen. Send them packing. Project Black has gotten 14-1. Have you ever heard of that before?
Amazing, isn't it? It's quite a giant streak of rounds, guys, and just like that, Leonards are the winners of this series. They take the map number 2 as well, 7-0, 7-1, meaning 14-1 on rounds in a row, so it's an amazing streak. Definitely, it's history being reading here today. Our grandchild are going to be talking about this game today and everything that happened. Amazing effort, amazing work. We can see that someone from PBX side already left the room, left the lobby, said, hey, that's too much. I don't want to be at this picture, right? So he's already gone, packed and good to go because there was a massive, astonishing victory by Linus, man.
I mean, at that point, I would say turning off your console isn't even enough. You have to sell it at that point. They've gotten absolutely blown out, and I don't think we've seen a qualifying playoffs match go that wrong before. At every single turn, punishment after punishment after punishment. If there was just a millimeter of punishment, it was there. It was punished. They capitalized on it on every single time. And I think after that first game, me and Lane had given up our hopes for PBX. He was trying to be nice and empathetic for them, but empathy only goes so far if you can't capitalize on that empathy. And they paid the price. They're gone. They're going home. They're going to be sitting home. They're going to be watching this VOD back and crying themselves to sleep because it's not going to look too well for their dignity.
Now they need to hug their pillows, definitely, and you know, try less and watch the game. Definitely, once again, watch the replays is amazing. As we know, guys, it's very crucial for you to adjust to those mistakes and get back on track, get back stronger for next seasons. So crazy. The chat was having a blast as well. Thanks, guys, again for staying with us so far at this broadcast. As you all know, we got like daily games, right? So every single day, ESA Cup has got a match. And we're going to be talking about the next match soon because before that, we still got to talk about those brackets. LDL now, so, you know, they're going to be going forward to face Entropy. And I'm going to tell you this, buddy. Entropy, they're not happy. They were, you know, very much destroyed by Molotov Gang from the maps number 2, and 3 yesterday. So Entropy are going to be coming in hard and they're going to be facing LDL upcoming next.
Yeah, it's about the who wants to bring it back the most. And whoever is going to win this game is either going to verse Asgard. Now, Asgard, an absolute powerhouse. They're so hard to beat. And whoever wins it, if Asgard wins their match, which is very likely they will, you will have to play them. And you're going to see who goes to that championship spot. Now, Asgard, very prestigious team, very respectful. But this whole side is something that needs to be talked about. If Entropy can manage to take it over LDL, they're going to go on to play a prestigious team. And if they manage to make it to the championship, I think, in my favor, they're going to be playing against Silent Family. Silent Family has just won another league, ECS. They've managed to bring it back, and they know what they're doing. They bring those insane plays, the coordination that you need to be a pro league level player. And I think that's a wrap for those matches. I think we're going to be in for a very good amount of action in the next upcoming weeks of the ESA Cup.
Absolutely. It's going to be even better to see those final matches, right? Obviously, as teams begin to pile up until the last moments of the championship. So, Cook versus MG Wheat. We're going to be seeing that game tomorrow with other casters. So, stay tuned with us. Follow ESA Cup, obviously, on Twitch and on social media, like I said before. And stay with us because it's always a surprise, right? As we do know, expectations are something, and the game itself played, it's another story. So, that was it for today. I'm very happy actually to have been here with my buddy from Canada. Sino, was a pleasure, man.
La-
See you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will see you. Say a W in the chat for your production. W Ogon, the Observer. Voight for being that production line. My buddy, Mr. Lanex himself. Everybody have a great, great night, morning, or wherever you're viewing from. And we will see you guys later. Make sure to drop a follow, and we'll see you guys later.